What's good, y'all? Welcome to America's favorite underrated debate show. Call it how I see it. I'm your host, Shotime SP, the fly on the wall in the middle of it all.
And I'm also your host, T-Reid, the king, ruler of everything, but we can talk about anything. Speaking of talking about anything, I need you to elbow drop that like button, subscribe to the Call It How I See It show on YouTube. Also, you can find us wherever you enjoy your favorite podcast. Show, talk to me.
T-Reid, how you feeling, Kang?
Hey, listen, man, any better I'll be like you.
Listen, you all looking well. Let me tell you. So I think well off is what it's going to be.
That's it, brother. That's it.
See, you got your Jesus is the way shirt on.
All day way. All day
and I'm
way.
wearing all black.
Yes, sir.
Because it is Black History Month.
Absolutely, and we pay tribute.
And everything that we are going to pay tribute to is going to be considered black.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, you love black sitcoms, right?
Love black sitcoms.
You know what else I love that's black?
Talk to me.
Eyed Peas. But also, I would like to talk about some black movies that is available in the culture.
There you go. There you go.
And I don't mean the group with Will.i.am and Fergie. I meant like the actual New Year's Eve. You got to New Year's. You got to eat the black eyed peas for good luck for the new year.
You know I got it.
Listen, I'm just saying.
I got it.
But let's talk about some black movies.
Let's talk about it.
Let's pay tribute to them. Now, this ain't a top 10 list.
Absolutely.
This ain't a top 8 list.
Nope.
We just gonna pay appreciation. We're gonna pay some homage.
Absolutely.
We're gonna show you. We're gonna talk to y'all about some movies that have impacted our lives.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, if it impacted your life,
I sure did.
and it impacted my life, so now it impacted our lives.
Ours.
So I think there is a key component to these movies that we've selected because some of the things that I would like to say is the reason why these movies are heavily mentioned is because they're probably one of the most quoted movies.
Oh yeah,
whether in the black culture or in any culture
in the world.
You know what I'm saying? In the world, Craig.
In the world,
and not just the city, but the world, Craig.
In the world, Craig.
So a lot of these movies are going to be ones that we are heavily quoting. A lot of these movies that we're going to pay references to or pay a lot of homage to in the black culture. And another thing that I like to throw in there, just a random, like a caveat, and not really a caveat, but like more like a plus for it, has to be BET certified.
Oh,
that means BET, Black Entertainment Television, have either played this movie
1
to 1 million too many times.
Yeah.
You done saw it passing by. You done seen it as if it was coming up, like it'll pop up. You're watching your show on BET and it says coming up at 8 o'clock. Yeah. You know that movie. And yes, people, that movie is on this list. And we're going to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's on this list. It has to be BET certified.
Has to be
criteria? Is there any reasons why these movies are on this list and not other movies?
Well, because they're black movies. And, the good thing about BET, they're children-friendly. By the way, I actually seen a movie. It was called Juice. It's not on this list.
It's not on this list.
I'm going to talk about it real
It's
quick.
a great movie,
the fact that Omar Epps and Tupac had an issue, and he normally says, suck my D, but BET chimed in and allowed him to say, man, suck my toe.
No, he didn't. No, they didn't.
Man, suck my toe.
No, they didn't. All right, well, another movie that is not on this list that I want to throw in there, in House Party.
Oh,
do you remember a scene where the
Uh-huh.
full force goes, we just got dissed by 2 punk monkey faces?
Yeah.
I've never seen the edit. Who was in charge of this editing, like the voiceover editing?
Listen, it was funny. It was funny.
Let's actually talk about some movies that are on this list. Now, I think if we are going to go heavy-handed, the one that we could talk mostly about that I believe that a lot of people would know, it's more of a family-friendly movie, if you want to say it's family-friendly.
Sure.
But everybody knows what day of the week it is. It's your favorite day of the week.
Yeah.
It's also one of my favorite movies of all time.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to talk about Friday.
Yeah, day I get paid.
Yeah, listen, look.
When I get paid now.
When I get paid on Friday. Hey,
Yes,
can you hold this loan for me? I'm going to pay you back on Friday.
Back on Friday.
Now, Friday, this movie is directed by Gary Gray.
Yes, sir.
It came out in 1995.
It did.
I feel like this movie is a certified black classic.
Yes, sir.
The reason why this movie is a certified black classic because it is a day in the life of what goes on in the neighborhood in L.A.
On a Friday.
On a Friday. That can happen in any neighborhood.
Yeah.
These are normal black problems. We have. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, there's some money that I got paid today, but I also got fired today. So this was my last check. There's also that neighbor that comes by and talks about how you got fired that day because you got to shout out Red.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But we all know that Red was the punk in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Debo beat him up and, you can put, like, there are things in Friday that I would love to talk about. But, just go ahead and give me a couple of your happy facts.
The fact of the matter is that as an adult, I was very poised
Mm-hmm.
when I realized that there's an adult bully in an adult situation. I mean, and then it was a big major setting. He was like a big kid because he was
Rest in
riding a
peace,
bike.
Tiny Lister.
Rest in peace to Tiny Listen, a.k.a. Debo.
Debo.
Everybody was scared of Debo, except for those guys up the street.
Yeah.
But we didn't see those
He
guys
ain't pull
up the
that to
street.
them over on the other street.
He ain't pull them on the other street. But the fact of the matter is that you know that Debo was coming. Even if you heard you heard the squeaking
squeak
of
of that
Red's
bike?
bike.
Yes, sir.
Not his bike.
It wasn't his bike.
Red's bike.
No, sir.
Matter of fact, he said, "Oh, you want this bike? This bike over here? I got you, homie. Just come over this way." He gave him a Shoryuken.
Before
He
the
didn't-
sure you can know.
Talk to me.
My favorite part is when he goes, he said, "Yeah, you know, my pops is tripping.
Yeah.
I need my bike back." But you know,
It's like both of ours. It's like both of ours.
It's like both of
You
ours.
know what I mean? He said, "I got you, homie. Come over here." He turned around and gave him a Shoryuken. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an uppercut if you didn't know what a Shoryuken was. But we're going to get into that pretty soon.
I love Friday, and you know I'm big on plot,
Talk to me.
right? So like, you mean to tell me the plot of this movie? Big Worm shot up the neighborhood,
Hey, man.
right? He shot up the whole neighborhood.
Big Worm was something dangerous.
Over $80 to $100.
Hey, man. He wanted his
Because you
money.
saw Big Worm, brother. Hey, come here.
Yeah.
He told
Come
Smokey,
here.
come here. Yep. Smokey came over there.
Yep.
Smokey counted out the money, right? How much money did Smokey actually have?
He had $100.
He had $100. He tried to flip it
flipped
over,
it
say
over.
120,
Yeah,
100.
yeah.
Try to do that, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention, right? He said, "That's $100.
That's
Stop
$100.
playing with me,
Stop
Smokey.
playing? Yeah.
Playing with my money is
Like
what."
playing with my emotions,
That is a
Smokey.
heavily voted quote. That is,
Absolutely.
I
To this
say
day.
that quote.
Yeah.
Listen, hold on. One of my favorite quotes is in the same movie, same two people that they talking about right now, between Smokey and Big Worm.
Yes, sir.
He said, "Playing with my money,
It's like playing with my emotions.
it's the principles of the whole thing."
It's the principalities of everything.
I love Friday,
Yes, sir.
but the fact that this whole movie
Yeah.
is over $80. And the reason why I keep
$80.
saying $80 because he had $100 in his pocket. But remember, Hector,
Yeah.
when he pulled up on him,
Yeah.
he said, "Hey, Smokey, let me get some." And he gave him a 20.
He gave him a
So
20.
that means that Smokey originally had $120. So this beef is all over $80. Now, Craig, why did you ask your mama and your sister for $200? Wait a minute. Craig, didn't you get paid that day? Because you went to go get your check.
He did.
And you got fired because they got you on camera for stealing boxes, but you went up there to get your check.
Absolutely.
You know what I found out? Because I did some searching. I did some heavy deep digging.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Black Buses for pointing this out. I do believe the reason why Craig ain't had no money is because, remember, he was on the phone with his girlfriend who also had a nigga in the bed. While she was saying that she saw him out, or her so-and-so friends saw him out at the club or whatever, right?
It was 3 people
He
in
had
that
the
room.
money
It
for
was
that.
3 guys in that room.
It was.
One on the bed, one on the floor, and one in the closet.
That is not true. But there is a dude
It
in a
was
dicky
3.
suit in the
Yes,
next bed.
It was 3 of them. All 3 of them in there. But go ahead.
He used that money, right, when he went out to do that stuff, right? And you figured he got his normal, he did his normal grocery list and stuff like that, right? But you also remember, didn't Smokey come in the window? He said, "Break yourself, fool." And he said,
did.
"You might get smoked." With
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I think Craig did not have any money to offer to Smokey to pay off Debo. I mean, to pay off Big Worm.
He bought that fire.
Because he bought that firearm.
bought that
Same
firearm.
gun
Yeah.
that he never even used it on Debo for. This is the
He
shit
didn't.
that I be talking
He
about,
didn't.
man.
He didn't.
Is there any gripes you got about, or is there any gripes or loves that you got for Friday before we move on?
I'm
man?
going to give you gripes and loves.
Go ahead.
The gripe I had was Big Worm was feared.
Oh, yeah. More
He
than
was
Debo.
feared. Way more than Debo.
Way more than Debo.
But who was talked about most in that movie?
He did talk about
They
Debo.
talk about Debo more.
Yeah.
And Debo didn't have a gun. He had a shank with duct tape around it.
He did. It was indeed a shank. That's what a
was a
shank
shank.
is. Yo,
Yes.
the when you talk about who was feared most, even though Debo was the guy, the one person you knew not to play with. You said he had a gun when you saw him, right?
Yeah.
Name one nigga that played like that.
Yeah, man, listen. Big Worm didn't play.
You know what I'm saying? So, but when it came to Debo, you could kind of mess with him because you knew Debo had his flaws. One, he ain't had no car. He ain't had no job. The man damn near didn't even have any shoes.
No.
So he had slippers,
Yeah,
riding around
slides.
in the slippers, right?
Yeah, Cali slides.
Where was
That's it.
Debo laid up at?
Felicia house. Felicia's house. I don't even.
So Debo
He
ain't.
didn't even have a house.
He ain't even have a house, man.
Which made him more. Well, I guess.
So
in some
what you
people's-
scared of this homeless dude for? Just because he
mean,
big?
Hey, listen.
he
man.
big?
Hey, listen. But nobody tried him, and everybody saw how Red's feet was flying in the air
When he got
after he gave him that uppercut.
Remember, listen. Hey, so what's the worst that can happen if you don't give Debo your juice? You had to fight him, right?
You gonna have to.
Which brings me to one of the best quotes in that movie. You win some,
You lose some.
but you live.
To fight another day.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.